It's the beginning of the end of my time in the PhD program. Many of us graduate students, and I think maybe part-time faculty as well, but definitely the grad students, got a scary email from the department heads. And it's not supposed to be scary. It's just a reminder of the reality of the situation, that we were promised in our contract 5 years of funding, so after 5 years the funding will not be there, which means that if you want to stay on as a student, you're more than, they'll keep you, obviously. But it is a funding issue. So if you go 5 years and haven't finished your PhD, then you have to basically find income elsewhere. And you can work part-time somewhere else outside the university. You won't be teaching anymore at the university, which is kind of sad for me. I enjoy teaching. I had a really good batch of students this semester, and typically when I teach that pre-calculus class, I always enjoy the students. I've taught it 4 times now, and every time I've taught it at least 3 times. We'll say 3 times. At least 3 out of the 4 times, I really enjoyed the students in that class. They participate. They make teaching fun, because I don't like getting up there and just professing and they just silently nod and write down what I say, or do nothing. Then you just feel like a bombing comedian. But the pre-calculus guys, they do well. I like calling them the Boost Boys, because the class is technically called Algebra for Calculus Boost. But they're fun. They talk back with me. They work on problems with me. They engage with me. You get what I'm trying to say. Next semester, I'm teaching trigonometry. I taught trigonometry once before. The class was very early in the morning, and I think most people were still asleep when I taught the class, and I enjoyed it, but you could definitely tell they're like half asleep, and I want them to be fully awake and participating with me. So hopefully this second round of trig will be good. But I'm off topic now. I was talking about funding earlier. What this means for me is that I want to finish the whole PhD by spring of 2026. Hopefully it is doable. It does scare me a little bit, because I feel like not a whole lot of research has been done, because they set a timeline for you when you enter a PhD program. So at our school, the way it worked is that you take 1 year, your first year, of your core classes, the classes they want you to take, which for us is like measure theory, complex analysis, and then abstract algebra, which includes group theory, field theory, ring theory. Galois theory is in there too. And then after that, you study for your qualifier exams, you take qualifiers, and then you pass. And then the next year, you still have to take classes, but your classes are special topic courses that are probably geared more to what the professors do research in, because if you want to work with those professors, those classes help you get on their level so that you can, do research with them. And for me, that's not what happened, as I didn't record any of my first year and a half of the program on YouTube. I started it in January of 2023, I think. Maybe February of 23. You'll have to go back and watch my first video. But it took me 2 years to take the qualifier exam. The first year I did all the core classes, blah, blah, blah. And then the second year, that's when I did probability theory. I did analytic number theory. I did potential theory. And I spent most of that time just preparing for qualifier again. And that was that whole sequence of videos on my channel. And then once I passed the qualifier in summer 23, I was expecting to really get on it with the research. I asked a couple professors if they wanted to do research. I don't really want to talk about some of their responses, but eventually, I had my advisor. We started working together. We had this idea, and it took, I would say, more time than it should have to get to where we're at now, which is the candidacy exam. My goal was to do it maybe even a semester since I graduated, or not graduated, what am I saying? Since I passed the qualifier, but it has since been like over a year, year and a half. Actually, it's been a year and a half. It's been a year and a half since I passed the qualifier, and my candidacy has been scheduled for the 13th, January 13th. I told the other two professors, so those two professors and my advisor will form my committee. The way the candidacy works is that all the standards and expectations are set by your advisor. Your advisor says, okay, I want you to do this, this, and this, and then you give a 30 to 45-minute presentation about your topic or the idea of the topic, and then from there you can not take classes anymore. So you don't take any more classes. You still teach if you're still a GA, but you just teach or grade or whatever assignment they give you, and then you do research. That's all you do. And you do that up until you finish your PhD, and then you're a doctor. That's how it works. And for me, that means I have to do all this research in a year and a half time. Doable. A lot of people. I spoke with some. I spoke with a postdoc at the Brown conference, which is kind of ironic because I'm showing you my Harvard hat. I did visit Harvard, but I got my Brown hat as well. So I will lose my train of thought. I was complaining about something. Finishing PhD in a year and a half time. The advisor for the candidacy exam sets the expectations. Some of them have really high expectations and want you to have perhaps a paper or at least an idea of what the paper will look like when you present, and then after candidacy you just write it up and bada bing bada boom, you have your PhD. And other people are just like, okay, just present this paper, and you read it, you understand it, and then you present it, and then you're done. I know two people that's what their case was like, and that is not the case for me. So we'll get it done. The 13th will come and go, and life will be good. And the postdoc I spoke with, when I told him about my situation, he says, a year and a half time is more than enough to finish your PhD. I mean, yeah, it'll come and go quickly, but it is enough time. It's a reasonable enough time, in his opinion, to finish the program. So that's really all I had to say about the candidacy. I submitted final grades yesterday for my students. I'm sure a lot of them will probably be happy because of a curve I implemented. Some of them maybe not so much. But overall, the students I got this semester were pretty good. I'm glad I got the students I got. I actually wasn't planning on teaching a boost course this semester. A friend of mine wanted to switch with me. He was going to teach that class, and I told him, hey, I'll switch with you if you don't want to teach it. And he goes, oh, I'll take you up on that offer. So we switched, and I taught his class, and he taught mine, the ones that we were originally scheduled for. Unfortunately, I was unable to help him out this semester. He saw that I was teaching trig, and he had boost, and he wanted to switch. And I was kind of interested in keeping trig this time. I want to teach trig again. So that goes with that. Complex analysis is done. Topology is done. I took my topology final exam yesterday, and unfortunately, this is the sad part of the video. I did pass the final exam, but I only passed so much to get myself a B in the course. It's the first B I've gotten since being in the program. And I could have gotten an A if I studied more, but I was on this conference trip, and I didn't get enough time to really study as much as I normally do. And since candidacy was like only a few weeks away, the 13th, and no one's gonna really look at that B. Really, you're gonna apply for a job, and they're like, I see that you took advanced analytic number theory. What kind of grade did you get in it? Did you only get a B? Oh, that's not good. We're not gonna hire you. No, that's not gonna happen. really the only way to get a good job is to know someone with a good job. And as long as the people I know like me and are willing to work with me, I think that's the most I can hope for. So, am I upset about it? I'm a little bit disappointed, not gonna lie. But am I gonna cry about it? No, absolutely not. No, why would I do that? I mean, I'm old enough to know what I'm capable of. I have the confidence. I know what I can do, what I can't do, and when I compare myself 5 years ago to where I was in mathematics, I was better than the average person, but compared to where I am now, it's like there's like a league of a difference. I'm way better at it now, but I still have a long way to go. That's kind of the deal with all this stuff. No matter what profession you're in, you're always accelerated, but you never get perfection. But you still have to keep moving forward. Which makes me wonder how good at math I'll be in 5 years from this point. That's something to look forward to. You're supposed to get better every time. And speaking of which, so what am I going to do over the Christmas break? So I wanted to talk more about the Brown Conference. It was a week. Basically, there's nothing to say. we saw lectures every day. The lectures were very interesting. A woman did present a paper that she wrote that I thought was very interesting. She's friends with my advisor. Hopefully, I will get to maybe write something with her in the future. I should pace myself. I don't want to. What's the expression? Leap before looking? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. But it would be nice to work with her and write something, because her paper did give me an idea, and I asked her about it after she got done speaking, and she goes, I don't think something like that's really been done. And I thought, ooh, that's something that maybe I could do. So it's good, and it's also in my field of research, so the likelihood that something could be done there, not zero, we'll put it that way. It's not 0%, but, still positive. So I enjoyed the conference. I hope I get to go back. I got to visit Harvard, MIT, and Brown, and I did get merch, as is basically what I want to show you. But I got this Brown hat, I got my Harvard hat, and I did not get an MIT hat, but I got a hoodie instead. I got a hoodie from MIT, which was very comfortable and very expensive. All this crap was way overpriced. I don't know what they think. I guess only the rich people can go to Ivy League schools, which is true. But I went there and I bought this Brown book. I wanted to get something that I could write in from Brown. I'm not really sure what I'm going to put in here, but it's just a little pocket book. Or not really a pocket book, it's kind of big, but you know what I mean. Not really sure what I'll put in there, but I am kind of proud of it a little bit. It's a nice little book. And then my goal for the Christmas break is to fill out these bad boys. So this is my MIT notebook. This smudge that shows up in the corner, that was not there when I bought it, because I would not have bought it otherwise. It wasn't there, and then when I packed up my bags and got on the airplane and got off and took them out, there was a smudge there. I have no idea what caused the smudge. It's not coming out, and I'm a little bit mad about that, because this is my MIT notebook. And then sitting right next to it is my Harvard notebook. So my goal for the Christmas break is to fill these guys with notes. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but MIT offers a bunch of free courses on their OpenCourseWare webpage, and they have a lot of math courses. So I'm going to look through there and pick my two favorite, and I'm going to fill the MIT one with, I think, maybe a complex analysis course there, and then maybe the probability theory course I'll put in the Harvard notebook. I think that makes the most sense to me. If Harvard has like some free courses or course notes or something on their website, then maybe I'll do that. But I know that I'm quite familiar with the MIT OpenCourseWare website, so I'm probably just going to stick with that. But I want like some measure theory here and then complex analysis here, or I'll find something better and figure out what to do. That way I can at least pretend that I went to these schools, even though I clearly did not. But a man can dream, can he? So I wanted to get one that was brown. Like, you can see, like, the brand, Roaring Spring paper products, and they look the same, just different color and branding. But they didn't have one at brown, or at least I didn't find one, which is why I bought this little book instead. So, anyway, that's the current update of the situation of things. Hopefully, nothing bad will happen in the next year and a half. Your boy will finish his PhD. He'll become the first doctor in the family, even though it's not a real doctor, but doctor nonetheless. And I'll get a good job afterwards. And then we'll figure out what to do with the channel. I don't know what I want to do with it, but I do want it to be dedicated to mathematics. And I want to do something special with the channel because I do have the opportunity to do something more than just film stuff at this little dirty table that I sit at. And I need to figure out what that is. So I guess just stay tuned for another update. I don't know what the next video will be, but I'm sure it will be interesting. Also, I forgot to mention, I've been learning some new languages, because ever since I was small, like elementary school, I've always been interested in learning a new language, and I didn't get to take any foreign language courses until like the 8th grade. 8th grade in high school, I took Spanish. I took 3 years of Spanish, and I really enjoyed the course. I retained a lot of my Spanish, surprisingly, without having practiced it, because when we went to the Spanish conference, I was able to do very minimal, but still I was able to communicate on some degree with the people that live there to get around. Obviously, you know, my understanding at the time was maybe preschool level, but I enjoyed learning Spanish in high school, and I wanted to continue it. And some of my friends right now are learning French, and they're using Duolingo. So this is probably kind of embarrassing, but I just discovered Duolingo. I've heard of it, didn't know what it was, but I downloaded the app, and I've just been speed running Duolingo Spanish for like the past 3 days. I think I'm at level 10 Spanish now. And I just wanted to say that that's also what I'm doing over the Christmas break, is just remembering my Spanish, practicing it again, and then maybe learn some other languages too, because I think it's good to be multilingual, and it may help me in some way, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really just doing it for fun. So, adios.